man, this team is so frustrating. I can't even believe it. I don't even know what to say right now. It was 5-5. It looked like they had every chance to win this game. They took this kid, Dylan Dodd. This kid had been in AAA. He was a third-round pick. They just brought him up for tonight. They got 4 runs off of him. As we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. 8-5, Atlanta. Ricky Vitalico and Michael Barkan in a moment. Ben Davis from Atlanta. Ricky Bo, all these games are important. They have not played the top division opponents yet. Tonight was game number 1. And this is not a good. Aaron Nola, I don't know what's going on with him. ERA of 4.88 in May.
All of them turn into home runs. Your ace should not be doing this. Your ace should be the guy that's out there to stop things, to stop the bleeding. You know what? So much for momentum carrying over from Trey Turner's big home run yesterday, too. That's why I don't believe in it. I mean, this team has had a hard time carrying momentum from day to day. This is why they will bounce back from this some way. But I don't like what's going on with the starting pitching right now. And it's Aaron Nola. You keep bringing up the back and forth Aaron Nola that we're seeing.
4-2-5.
Yeah, and that's not the guy you need out there. The guy you need out there is the dominant Aaron Nola that used to be. That guy is not here yet this year.
Yeah.
I know we've seen glimpses of him pitching well, but that guy is not here.
All right, let's go down to Atlanta, check in with Ben Davis, call tonight's game with Tom McCarthy. Ben, I mentioned at the top of the program, 4.88 ERA for Aaron Nola in May, and it's inexplicable seemingly, but try to explain it. And those earned runs in May, 4, then 2, then 4, then 2, and now tonight 5, and each of the higher earned runs totals mean a loss for the Phillies this month.
Yeah, he just didn't have any finish on his pitches tonight, Michael. It was one of those things where he threw a lot of breaking balls, and the breaking ball early in the game was pretty good. He saw him wiggle himself out of that one inning with the 3 strikeouts with that breaking ball. But the fastball just doesn't have any finish on it. And I know it's not always about velocity, but I am kind of concerned about his velocity. I flat out am, and if you're not locating, if you can't hit a Nats rear end from 60 feet 6 inches, then you're going to get hit a little bit. And this is a lineup that has seen him plenty. Now the lineup tonight has a combined 16 home runs off Aaron Nola. They've seen him plenty. Obviously, Riley now has 5 career home runs off him. It's just one of those things we didn't have any finish. He's not throwing a whole lot of changeups. His cutter, personally, if I were Aaron, I'd forget the cutter. I don't think it's
not very good.
It's not. It doesn't move a whole lot. And the other thing is, and I know, and I said during the broadcast, but if you're throwing 90, 91, and you're throwing a changeup at 87, that's not too big a disparity between the 2 pitches. It makes his secondary pitches, his curveball and his changeup, a lot less effective because there isn't that big gap in velocity. It's a cause for concern, and I know the Phillies will say whatever, but in my opinion, it's affected him greatly this year.
I got to ask you, Ben, how much concern do you have in Gregory Soto right now? And I'm not saying because he pitched poorly tonight. What I am saying is that every time you look down at the bullpen, he's either warming up to go into a game or he's been in a couple games in a row. I mean, are they going to wear this guy out by midseason?
Well, I don't think so. He's a guy. He came past me today in the dugout, and I looked at him and I was like, good Lord, you're a big dude. And I mean, he's a big guy, and I think he's a guy that likes to pitch. I don't think they're going to wear him out. From the looks of him, I don't think he can get worn out. He was just up today a little bit in the zone. His velocity was there, but you can't fall behind guys. I don't care if you throw 350 miles an hour. If you know it's coming, these are big league hitters. They can get wood on a bullet. So it makes it that much easier to hit if hitting is ever easier. But if you know it's coming, it does lighten the load.
Last one, Benny, and that is, unless Ricky has another one, that is the momentum or lack thereof, and Rick just pointed it out. There is no momentum. I feel like a sap. Well, I may be a sap, but they won yesterday in amazing, dramatic fashion, and Rob Thomson was asked about it post-game, and Trey Turner was, and how much they could use that win yesterday to build going forward, and it's just poof, it's gone. What can build momentum for a struggling team?
I think they just need to be consistent in all facets of the game right now, Michael. That's what I think. The pitching obviously has to be better. I do agree with Ricky. The starting pitching has to be better. that flat out, I don't know what else to say. They have to be better. They got to go deeper into ball games. They have to be more consistent. They have to be better with runners in scoring position. The defense has to improve, although they did play pretty good defense this evening. But the bottom line is it has to be collective. It has to be better in all facets of the game. It just can't be the starting pitch. It just can't be offense. These guys have to be better. And if, you know, they're going to find themselves now, they're 8 games out. Again, I know it's only, what is it, May 25th. But this could get away from them quickly because, you know, there's 4 months of baseball to go. And you don't want these guys getting out ahead of you that far because they don't have the ability to get back in it. It's say they play them 19 times a year like they have in the past. It's drastically reduced this year because
13.
of that. 13 times. So you're not going to have the chance to gain that ground.
On both of those occasions, he's not getting enough arm speed behind the cutter. Ben alluded to that, and I 100% agree that you have to stay on top of that and really kind of snap down at the end, and you have to have arm speed. Right now, his arm speed is down. As we know, his velocity's been down all season long. The other thing is with the curveball, I mean, if you don't stay on top of it and you let it go from behind and your mechanics aren't right on, you'll get the spinning motion and it lands. You don't get the bite. You get spinning motion. You don't get bite.
Yeah. Also, his strikeouts per 9 innings are down. Now, it was 8.1. Tonight he had 7, so that's close. But in general, this season it's been down. Does that matter in your view if the guy's a strikeout pitcher and not a pitch-to-contact pitcher?
When he came up, I didn't think he was necessarily going to be a strikeout pitcher. Reason being, he had good movement on his sinker. He had a good curveball to go the other way. But when you start adding to your repertoire, yeah, because there's some guessing that starts to happen with the hitters. Right now, I just don't think he has the stuff or the location to be a high strikeout total guy.
All right, let's hear from the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, Rob Thomson, in Atlanta.
Rob, that section of the lineup there with the lefties coming up and Soto coming in there, I feel you probably had the guy you wanted on the mound there. What'd you make of that 8th inning?
Yeah, so they pinch hit Pilar and he, struck him out, and then got ahead of Albies, high fastballs. That last one, he just didn't get it up high enough, and then it kind of unraveled. But he first pitch strikes, didn't get ahead, and when he gets ahead, he's pretty tough to handle. So that's what he's got to do.
I was going to ask you, that's kind of been his MO this season. I was looking at some of his games. If he just gives up a hit, it seems to spiral on him. Those are any game he gives up a hit, big innings. And so when he's on, he's on. He's off, he's off. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. And I think for me, I'd have to really dive into it, but I think that first pitch strike, getting ahead of the hitter, is critical. Once he gets ahead, it's a really tough at bat for a guy.
He wasn't trying to pitch around. JT went out there. He wasn't trying to pitch around Arcia there, was he?
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah. All right.
No. Just trying to slow him down a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
You guys came back to tie or take the lead 3 different times tonight, 3 different innings. Offensively, what did you think?
I thought we were good. Harper had a great night. Schwarber had a big hit off Minter. Bohm, long home run. I thought we swung bats well. I really did.
Yeah, the 2 plays at the play. What were your takes on that? Castellanos, you didn't slide on that one, but was he thinking the ball was going to first?
I think everybody in the ballpark thought the ball was going to first. And so when the balls hit that hard, usually the on-deck guy helps the guy at the plate to tell him what to do. There's no time to get there, on that play. But I certainly thought he was going to first base.
Yeah.
Either that or turn traditional double play. But, that's – and balls behind him and,
Right.
So that's tough.
And then the instant replay,
Well, Casty didn't touch the play.
Was that what this?
I think so. I
Okay.
think once he slid, the ground moved his foot, because sometimes it does. I catch a cleat or whatever, and then it just kind of slid past the plate.
What was waiting for that decision like from the dugout?
Well, we had called in and we knew that it was probably going to be overturned.
Okay. Yeah. What'd you think of Nola? I mean, he's so uneven. Riley just kills him.
Yeah, it's good numbers against Riley's got good numbers against him. I thought the stuff was good. He just made some mistakes. I thought it was really impressive what he did in the third inning. Second, third, nobody out, and punch out the side. That gave us a shot. The first Riley home run was kind of a loose cutter, I believe, that an Ozuna home run. They're trying to go away, and with this two-seamer, he left it middle, and the second Riley home run was just hanging breaking ball first pitch. He was all over it. So
Not seeing him perform the way he can like he did in the World Baseball
The thing that bothered me about tonight, we saw him go outside the zone again. And that's what's bothersome. You would have thought yesterday he would have learned from that one really, really horrible, horrendous, atrocious at bat earlier in the ballgame before the home run, that he was swinging at pitches that weren't even close. And then he comes back in tonight and same old, same old.
Same deal. All right, how about the pitching? 8 runs given up between Aaron Nola, 5, and Gregory Soto, 3. Here's Aaron Nola postgame.
Also, Riley just gives you fits, huh? He's awesome.
He is a good hitter. Good hitter, doesn't miss too many balls at the rubber plate.
I think this was like your 33rd career start against this team. When they know you that well and you know them that well, like, what are the challenges in that?
Just got to execute. Didn't execute well tonight. And they didn't miss any balls over the plate. Hit some bad pitches. Hit a couple good ones. I mean, they pretty much held me tonight, and Riley got me pretty good for 3 RBIs. Ozuna and had a couple, it's just not a great night.
You talked after your last start about how you felt like, you had all your pitches you had a feel of all your pitches. Was that not the case tonight? And could you feel that early on? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple walks and not getting ahead of a lot of guys, and they added on when they got the pitch, so they didn't miss many.
When you're facing a team that capitalizes on moments like that, is it difficult to like is it easy to try to be like too perfect, like put pressure on yourself, like anything like that?
Not really. I mean, just trying to execute my pitches. All that they hit were pretty much over the middle of the plate. So try to get ahead of them and expand when I need to and get early out.
You got Riley on like a bunch of curveballs in that third. Do you think he was kind of sitting? I know it was a hanger, but like.
I mean, I don't think if he was sitting on any pitch, he'd have hit that ball out anyway.
Okay.
Not too many weak sections of this Braves lineup. Does it feel like a grind when you go up against these guys?
Sure, it's always a grind against these guys. I get upset to face these guys. I feel like 50 times. I mean, they have pretty much the same squad, and they're good. They're good. They're a good club. It's not the last time I'm gonna face them, so throw this one behind me and get ready for New York.
You take a lot of pride in being like a tone setter, to come out and not pitch your best to open up this series. How frustrating is that for you?
Frustrating. I mean, tone setter or not tone setter, whatever. I do my job every time I go out on the mound, and not give up any runs to limit the runs to give the guys a chance to win. And I give up 5 is pretty tough. But I got to flush this one. Move on to the next one.
Thank you. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
That last remark, he knows that he underperformed tonight. He knows he didn't do what he needed to do. He said
That was the
5
first.
is pretty tough.
That was the first time that I've seen him off kilter a little bit.
Yeah.
And especially in a presser, it's usually like, well, I made 1 or 2 bad pitches. This was, I didn't do the job tonight. It was a bad night.
Yeah. How are they going to figure this out with the rotation?
I don't know how they figure it out.
They're already
because
down numbers-wise with the rotation.
You're down.
Two aces are not doing it.
You can't give guys time off. It's not like you could say, well, we'll push you back a couple days and maybe you'll get some strength back in your shoulder. That's not going to happen. So your mainstays have to be Nola, Wheeler, Ranger, and Taijuan Walker's got to wake up. He's had good starts here and there, but everything's about consistency right now. And if you go up and down the 5 in the rotation, you're not finding anything consistent about it.
You're not. And then you get into the bullpen tonight anyway, where,
The bullpen's starting to get a little bit shaky, besides Kimbrel right now.
Yeah. So what is the answer here?
Alvarado's the answer to that bullpen.
Who's injured? We'll see him.
He'll be
we
back
hope
soon.
upcoming. But here's the thing: Alvarado is not all that. This year he was, and in the postseason he was. But he has a body of work that would suggest he's very inconsistent.
Well, I think he's gotten over that point in his career.
I hope you're
And
right.
I think he's gotten to the point where he's very consistent. And he showed that at the beginning of the year, and then he got injured. So, I mean, you need him back desperately.